me, Garacha Max again. We had an amazing night at the Garacha Club on the 29th of October 2023. Here is another short video clip of our third esteemed speaker, Scott McArthur, aka Marty McFly, and he's taking us back to the AI future. See you at the bar. We're going back to the future.
So please welcome to the stage, Scott McArthur.
Do you trust me? Yeah. Ha! That was quick. Do you trust me? No. So funny watching your faces. I wish the camera was here watching their faces. Could you trust me for 10 seconds? Yeah. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. I want you to imagine something. Come on, play along. Close your eyes. Thank you. Come on, sir. Well done. Close your eyes. Close your eyes! I'll go all Glasgow. There's going to be a murder. Right. I want you to imagine something in your mind. And it's really simple. I want you to imagine a dog. You got it? Communicate's good. Yeah? You got a dog? Yeah. Right, well done. Oh, God, Lee, you never told me it was going to be hard. Right, I want you to put that dog into a yard. So in your mind, you can see a dog in a yard. Open your eyes. Thank you for trusting me. I've been doing this for 30 years. I've worked for over 300 companies. I've spoken to over 2.5 million people. And that is the best exercise I have ever done in any organization, in any country in the world. Put your hand up if you thought of a dog that you know. Yeah? Why is that the most important exercise you'll ever do, ever? Honestly, I've been doing this for years. Why? If I said, on you go, yeah? Somebody say something there?
It's familiar.
Familiar? Keep going.
It's comfortable.
Keep going.
You can relate to it.
Good. Right? If I said to you all, right, where are we? We're in London. Imagine a bicycle. Right? And I know you're doing it, even though I didn't tell you to do it. You're doing it anyway, aren't you? Don't think of a polar bear. Anyway. Imagine, so most of you are thinking of a bicycle, yeah? Hopefully. But the old ones like Lee are thinking of choppers and stuff, aren't you, Lee? Yeah, I can tell. If I said, think about... No. Were you thinking about chopper? Nah. We better not talk about choppers. Actually, it's after 9 o'clock. Think about Big Ben. So the pedants in the room are thinking about the bell. Everybody else is thinking about the Elizabeth Tower, aren't you? Think about, I'm going to swear, HR. Think about profit. Think about strategy. Every company, and I honestly, it's never not worked this. Every time I've done, and you can do this as a workshop, you go around the room and you say, what's your point? I manage risk. Every single one of you, I guarantee it, sees risk differently. That's why that is the most important exercise you'll ever do, ever, in a room like this. I've worked with companies, I've worked with Amazon doing this, Microsoft doing this, I've worked with HSBC, Barclays, I've done it all over the world. And it's never, they're always going, HR's sitting writing little booklets, communications, here we are this week giving out a document to, right? And nobody pays any attention to it because everybody sees it differently. So if you don't remember anything else that I say tonight, promise you, remember the cuddly Scotsman talking about dogs in yards. And next time at home, because you know where I got it from, don't you? I used to work for Relate, marriage counselling. That's where I got that exercise from. Yeah? Because relationships, you ask your partner, if you're lucky enough to have a partner, what does love mean? Guarantee you both have a different answer. Guarantee. Some giggles. It's not meant to be a funny bit. Yeah. So let me build on that because there's I want to get you all on the same page before I give you some. I'm going to give you some examples. Shush. I'm going to give you some examples. There's a word that's everywhere in the media, and some of you may have heard this before, and I'm not apologising for it, because I think we all need to have the same dog in the yard. Who knows what exponential means? Don't know, hit me at once or anything. Yes, I saw your hand. No. I'm quite nice, really. You don't know. Exponential. It's a curve, right? And you've probably seen in the media about technology growing at an exponential rate. But what folk don't do, and I work a lot with kids, and when I say to them, what does exponential mean, they have no clue. So I'm going to tell you what I tell the kids. Our brains work, and I've done 150 autopsies, so I've actually done this with human beings. 50 brains, looked at the human brain, studied it for many years. No, they were official. They had a PM number. The human brain is pretty linear the way it works, and all this nonsense about artificial intelligence. Do you know we don't know about natural intelligence? We have virtually no idea how the brain works. I've got loads of mates working in the brain, and none of them would claim they know anything about the brain. But all these NLP folk, I know about the brain. No, they don't. They have not got a clue. Anyway, if I took 30 linear steps from where I'm standing right here, how far do you think I would get? I've got short legs, so I'd probably get to the bar, do you reckon? 30 steps? Something like that. Maybe a wee bit more. Do a sort of funny walk, like, yeah. How far do you think I would get if I took 30 exponential steps? 1, 2, 4, 8, 6. How far do you think I would get?
Edinburgh.
Best city in the world, mate, and I always end up there. But no, it's not Edinburgh. It's a few steps. Where? Not bad. You could take enough steps to walk round the world 20 times. That's how fast some of this technology is moving. AI is moving just under exponential. Biotech's 3 times. I don't even know how they calculate it. 3 times. And I'd love to talk more about biotech sometime because it's a much more interesting subject than AI. And nanotech are all growing at that rate. And then this week, just this week, it's weird because Lee had asked me to do this and I thought, oh, I'll just go and tell a joke or something. but this week, 3 things happened that were really weird. I was speaking in Lithuania, no, it wasn't, it was in Latvia, Riga. And I was speaking to an audience of a couple of thousand HR professionals. And I was wondering, because they all speak Latvian, and I've got a slight accent, and I'm thinking, they're not going to understand a word I say. So what I did was, have you heard of 11 Labs yet? Have you come across 11 Labs? It's one of the translation AIs. It's not really an AI. Everybody calls it an AI. But anyway, it's a translation AI. So I went on to 11 Labs, put one of my definitions, not the whole speech. I mean, I quite enjoy speaking. But one of my slides that I really wanted them to understand. So I put it into 11 in my accent. And if you don't believe me, you can look. I'll send you the link. You can go and watch it, right? And I put the definition on the screen. And when I was introducing this concept of perennials, which I won't talk about tonight, but I said, and a perennial is, and I said, tell you what, I'll do it in Latvian. I pressed the button, and the bloody thing translated it to Latvian with a Scottish accent. And the professional translators that were there said it was 95% accurate, and they weren't smiling. Yeah? So that happened this week. The other thing that happened, honestly, I swear this is all true. You can literally go and listen to this stuff. It's recorded. I've got a radio show, right? And I was sitting, it's called Future Bites. It's all about the future. And I play really, really heavy music. It pisses everybody off in the Cotswolds. They're used to listening to Duran Duran and Akabilk, and I'm playing death metal. Anyway, and I'm not kidding. And anyway, I'm sitting and I'm thinking, could I do something different? So what I did was, have you heard of Pi, P-I, the AI P-I? You heard of it? Yeah, starting to come in now. I interviewed Pi on the show. I even said I'm going to interview an AI called Pi the AI. And we've had letters saying, we'd like you to bring that guest back. Because they thought it was a person. It sounds like a, if you've heard it, you know it does. It sounds like a person. It's particularly one of the voices is very, very good. And then since Tuesday, when I did that show, since Tuesday, 2 days ago, they launched voice recognition. So you can now speak to Pi. That's all happened in 3 days, right? And then the final story, which is all about what you guys do, pal of mine runs a huge supply chain company. He's in the motor industry, he's Formula One. And he came over to see me, and he was in a right mood. He's a dour bugger anyway, so that's a bit Scottish there, isn't it? He's a right grumpy so-and-so. And he came to see me, and he said, you're not going to believe this. We've been attacked by ransom software. Now, you all know what that is better than me. I have no clue about that sort of stuff. But the point that was really interesting, and I would love to hear certainly the panel, Lee, I think this is the sort of thing that would be really interesting. That company's now negotiating with the software company that used that ransomware. They're in formal negotiations about how much money they're going to pay them. They've not gone to the cops. They're negotiating with them. And what Dave said to me was, he said, he's a very clever guy, this, and he said there's been $1 trillion in the last 6 months taken by these guys. I can't even imagine $1 trillion. I mean, I just can't. So that's happening. And with the Pi stuff at the same time, the voice stuff, now I don't know where this is going to go. I see it positively. I mean, I think Pi, if you've used Pi, there are a lot of therapists using Pi now as a help, because you can actually have a conversation with it, and it's a good, trust me, if you've never tried it, try it. It's not bad, and I couldn't tell. It passed the Turing test just like that. But that's terrifying, because I imagine my mum and dad getting a call from Pi. No chance. Money's gone. But I can also imagine my Uncle Doogie, who's got early dementia with Pi, and it's a therapist. Where do we draw the line? I don't know where we draw the line. And what the United States is saying is, we're not regulating it. We'll leave it to the companies to regulate it. Or maybe we follow the EU's example. Right? So this is really serious, this stuff. Really serious. But I think there's a lot of good in it. And let me give you some good examples. And these are really freaky. Got another colleague who is a scientist, a professor of biology in St Andrews. My first degree was in biology. And she's been studying, I think I'm mad saying this. She's been studying whale song for the last 25 years. She's a whale expert, right? They have now purchased an API, and they're developing an AI, and they reckon they're going to crack whale song in the next 3 years. How beautiful is that, right? Now, what that's about, and this is the bit that I'd love you to think about more seriously even than the dog in the yard. There's a thing called pattern recognition. Do you know how we see things? You know, whatever. You know, we all imagine things. We're always seeing things. Well, pattern recognition is how the world works. Yeah, it's how the world works. Now, our brains can only go so far, right? So we tend to guess a lot. Now, in the world where I used to work, like recruitment and talent and resourcing, it's all made up. It's all made up. But humans are far too complex for us to actually understand them. But this new technology is going to absolutely transform that. And I tell you what, risk is a prime target, because they'll look at things that you've got no chance of getting down to that level of pattern recognition. It is going to be transformative. And if you don't believe, and we were having, he's just gone, your friend, what was his name? Paul. We're having a chat about it. And he said, it was really interesting, he's a bright guy, and he said something like, oh, the regulators would never allow it. Well, my grandfather from Glasgow in 1905 was walking down the street, he was a boy, and there was horses everywhere. In 1907, the horses were all gone. The horses didn't want to go, right? And I think things like, and this is another thing that was really weird, start-up countries are coming. Start-up countries are coming. There's already one off the coast of Finland called Somme. Don't know if you've come across that yet. It's absolutely fascinating. 10,000 people have created their own company, their own financial system, right? Somebody said, there's something you said, sir, about disruption. What was it? I wrote it down, I forgot. It was the tolerance towards disruption.
Tolerance for disruption.
Yeah. Who cares? Seriously though, who cares? The horses, it's gone. And the thing that's fascinating, and the thing that I think is really interesting here, if you look at the history of AI, it's about 150 years old, AI. And the history of AI has mainly been about manual jobs. AI, in March 2023, went colorblind. It went colorblind. It's gone cognitive. That's going to change everything. And people who are saying it's not a problem, it's not a problem. It is a problem, and it's a fascinating and a good problem to have, but it has gone colorblind. And if you're not a craft person or a maker, we're all got to think about the future. And your tolerance to disruption doesn't matter, as they say in Glasgow. But to finish, I've been thinking a lot about this, and one of the other things, and I know this is close to a lot of you, so I'm sorry if I'm not going to actually swear, but it'll feel like I'm swearing. One of the things that we do too much of, and I think there's a lot of evidence for this, and companies have gone down because of this. In my consulting career, I saw it all the time. Companies measure too much. There's too many KPIs that don't matter, key performance indicators. But I'm going to give you a KPI before I leave. And I call this the golden KPI. And I think it really helps when reframing some of this technology and the rate it's moving at. And this is the KPI. The KPI is everything you do should be time well spent. Thanks for listening. I'll talk to you later.